how to buy a home in Spokane, Washington. First thing we want to do, search for a loan before you search for the home. So Teddy, how do we apply for a loan? How do we find the one that's best for us?
Absolutely. A couple ways you can do it. I mean, you can always come into my office personally and sit down and we can do it that way. Or you can use our online application or our mobile app to apply. It's pretty quick and easy. Probably only takes like 30 minutes to get through.
And how long does it take to actually know if we're approved or not? Is it like a week-long process? Is it overnight?
So if I do have all the documentation required, like tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, or 1099s, once I have all of that, we turn it over to an underwriter and we do an upfront underwriting on it, and it only takes about 6 hours.
Then the other qualification would be like 2 years of work history, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And does that mean like 2 years of the same consistent job, 2 years in the same field, 2 years commission based? What's kind of the like leniency there?
Normally it means just 2 years in the same field. So if you go from one commission job to another commission job, that's normally fine. If you go from being a doctor to being a lawyer, normally we have ways of doing that. Most of it is just that you do have a 2-year work history. If you have not been working for more than 2 years, a lot of the time we're going to want to find a way to either pair it with something else, or we'll have to wait until that 2 years.
So finding like a supplemental like income, whether that's somebody who can co-sign or anything like that, right?
Exactly.
What if you just barely have 2 years, or you're just over 2 years? Maybe you're like a first-time home buyer. Any advice for first-time home buyers?
Okay, so first thing and foremost, like, don't stress out about it. It's okay. The process when you work with someone like Matt and I is very smooth. When it comes to down payment, there's so many first-time home buyers out there that really stress out about where am I going to get this money, and I'll teach first-time home buyers classes. They allow you to get, down payment assistance, so your down payment is covered. And a lot of people are also very worried about their credit. In these classes, we also talk a lot about credit repair and how we can help you here at Movement bring your credit score up so you can qualify for the right loan.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? But the major things are going to be your credit score, your work history, and then your debt to income ratio. I know a debt to income ratio, a lot of people think, say you have $10,000 worth of credit card debt, that's not exactly what the lender cares about, right?
That's correct.
Lender is worried about your monthly income before taxes. And then we just really care about your minimum payments on like all of your debt related things, so your car, your credit card, student loans.
Yep, student loans, we see that all the time. We have people who literally are up to the 40s to 60s, 60,000 in student loan debt, and are still able to get a house because we're only looking at that minimum payment that's due. And with student loans, a lot of the time, the payment's fairly low. It's not as damaging as what people would think as far as their ability to get into a home.
This Movement has a great tool. It'll actually pull up all of your, anything on your credit report with the balances.
Yep.
And then Teddy can actually simulate, per se, if you paid off this card, would you be approved for a better score? If you paid off your car, would you be approved for a better score? A lot of people are usually only $200 or $300 away.
Yeah.
And they just don't know it, right?
They really don't, and it's crazy. Sometimes you don't even have to pay down something. Sometimes you just have to, or at least pay it off, but just have to pay it down a few $100s, and that can bump your score up 15 to 20 points, and maybe that's all we need to get you into the right program.
Right. So we're approved. What does that mean? Like, what can we do?
At that point, what that means is that you have purchasing power. So if I approve a client for, let's say, $200,000, then that means that they can go now and they can go with you. They can look at houses in that $200,000 range and put in a very qualified offer where we've already underwritten it, it's already been pre-approved, so there's going to be no snags.
So 90% of buyers are usually shopping online for houses. Of course, you can always set up filters to make sure your purchase power is set up the right way. If you register on my website, I can even send you alerts anytime any house that matches your criteria hits the market. And any houses that you want to go see, I have no problem taking you to them. If we do find a house, I will help you write the most likely to be accepted offer. What do you do after that?
After we submit the offer, I typically like to actually reach out to the listing agent and just let them know that you as a client are fully vetted and that we have underwritten your loan and that everything is smooth and ready to go. That makes them feel better and the sellers feel better about accepting your offer. So it just gives you a little bit more play.
I can speak from experience, if you're in a multiple offer scenario and a lender does reach out to the listing agent, that's just one more thing that listing agent can bring to his or her sellers. And then that seller is going to feel a lot more confident accepting your offer over another.
Yeah.
You already have the upfront underwriting. Teddy already reached out to him and said, hey, my guys are approved for this. They have no problems. As long as nothing comes up in appraisal, we usually win the bid.
That's correct, yeah.
And then, of course, we invite anybody to join us for any first-time home buyers classes. Any questions, comments, concerns, reach right out to me or Teddy.